laughs. We saw him do a somersault.
Yep. And then he would just like kind of post up in the corner and show his balls to everybody. He ruled. He was great. And there were freaking lions, 3 like full-grown adult lions with the mane and everything, and they all just like showed up, and they were just standing there, all like kind of in a row, looking at us.
The
That was
big
pretty
cats
cool.
were very gregarious.
Yes.
All big cats were ready to show out.
Yeah, they were all up in our grill, which is another thing that is not always you can't always count on when you go to
Yeah,
the
no,
zoo.
we had like just perfect unobstructed views of some like the top tier, the money makers
Yeah.
for any zoo. You got your pandas, gorillas, orangutans, lions, tigers,
Your charismatic
elephant,
megafauna.
the charismatic megafauna, the top earners for the zoo.
Yeah.
The more the Cadillac of animals.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was a perfect day at the zoo.
Yeah, you said there were also a ton of gorillas. I had no idea. They had like a whole
Yeah, they have the largest
family
collection of
pod of
gorillas in
gorillas.
America here at the Atlanta Zoo.
Yeah, and thankfully, like at first, it was a family, and it was a bunch of juveniles, including a really cute little 2-year-old guy. But like the silverback was off, and you couldn't really see too much. But then there's another enclosure with two silverbacks, and thankfully got to like just get the full look at their incredible asses. They're astounding. They're so caked.
Yeah, it's like they've only done deadlifts for 30 years straight.
Yeah, you just look at the powerful haunches of a gorilla, and you just got to respect it.
And totally vegan.
Yeah, it's true. Vegan gains are possible.
Yeah, they I mean their treat is tree bark.
Yes, they love tree bark. Apparently, that's their big thing.
Yeah, we saw still an older silverback because the retired silverbacks they have a separate enclosure. We saw one of those big caked up gorillas walk away, and it was almost like this tree branch that he brought with him was his jewel. He's just jeweling his ass turned to us.
Yep, and I just selected, and Felix was like, "Yep, you get me."
Yeah, I also do not want the smaller animals to go unheralded. The meerkats,
Delightful.
always a delight.
Little buddies just zipping around.
What was the one that was like a cryptid? It was like a cross between a capybara and like a jackrabbit.
Oh
Yeah.
that's wild. Yes, it's South American rodent, and it looks like a scaled down capybara with bunny ears, and it looked nothing I'd seen before. Very cool.
Oh, and then also the great hornbills, the big orange beaks, and Emma told us that sometimes they will eat squirrels.
Yeah,
Squirrels. Like
Yeah.
they're just regular Georgia squirrels. They wander into the wrong enclosure, and like all of a sudden this fucking orange faced dinosaur just swallows them.
yes, it's this giant black bird with a 3-pronged orange beak that's like
It's
a foot
enormous.
long.
Yeah, it's huge.
And you could just imagine some poor schmuck squirrel getting eaten and just thinking, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
That's-
Mondays, am I right?
You start out winning the squirrel lottery, being in a state like Georgia,
Yeah.
where there's tons of fried doughs and treats to pick up off the ground, and then you have to get greedy and wander in to be killed by a 3-tier billed bird that is not native to this part
It's
of
like
the
this.
world.
That's not fair. I don't need to be prepared for this motherfucker. Like going out of your house and a fucking velociraptor just jumps on you.
Yeah.
There's another thing we did on the way into Georgia though that was very cool. I think Chris is the one who found out about this town that we went to.
I didn't Shannon?
Shannon.
Yeah. Shout out to other friend of the show, Shannon Stewart. She is
Yeah.
also from Atlanta. We also hung out with her.
I had no idea about this. There's a town north of Atlanta in the Gold Hills that called Helen that is a German village. It's like designed to look like an alpine sort of Bavarian town. And they really go for it. Like they got a little square, they've got a beer hall, they've got all the buildings with like the half timbers and stuff. And we were like, damn, this is pretty cool. And we had some sausage. It was great. We were like, how does this happen? And then my girlfriend Amber looked it up, and it turns out that in 1968, after the logging that had sort of kept the town going dried up, they just had a town meeting, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? And somebody was just like, let's just make it German. And then people will come and see it. And I got to say, it seemed to be working because it was what, like a Sunday or something? Yeah, like in February, and it was fucking packed. And people were loving it.
And these were not crowd Americans.
Absolutely.
We know that we said every white American is a crowd.
Yeah.
No, these people had the Marjorie Taylor Greene phenotype.
Yep.
A lot of them.
Yep.
These were the least German Americans, and they were coming out because anyone can enjoy being German.
It's true. It's true.
That's always been true.
It's true. How can you get mad at these people? You know, they made mistakes, so has everyone else.
Yeah.
But how many other cultures have giant fucking pretzels and compete on how large of a beer they can give you? These are all, and have lederhosen, some of the most comfortable clothing on earth. I really want some, man. There was one dude who had like a really good set, and I was
you know how long I've been trying to get Catherine to dress like a bar wench,
like the St. Pauli girl.
Yeah, St. Pauli girl. Yeah.
I will say that Germany is the only foreign country I've been to where they serve Amerifat portions.
That's true. Yes, that's the other thing. If you're an American, is Germany's not going to skimp on you. You're not going to get like 3 slivers of jamon, like in Spain or something, or like a little croquette of French onion soup. You're going to get a fucking a pretzel the size of a car steering wheel, and then like just a coiled sausage that takes up an entire frisbee. Great time, and I think more towns should do this. They should just, because there is an absolute limitless number of American towns whose economic engine has shuddered to a halt. Just decide to become another country.
Yeah. It's usually when that happens. Usually when they're like, we moved our rubber band factory to like a country that doesn't have a flag. They're like, we should take all the money we were going to give to the hospital and give it to Uber. So they put an office here.
Yeah.
And that's like Pittsburgh. That's a lot of places. What you really should do is just become a theme town just throw a dart at a map, because you don't have to be that thing.
No.
You can turn Altoona, Pennsylvania into Little Indonesia.
That would be
all
great.
of you can be Pennsylvania Dutch, and none of you are Indonesian. You can still do it if you read a few books.
Schenectady, New York. We're Lisbon now.
Yeah.
we're a Portugal style town.
I mean, my God, I've wanted to see authentic Balinese puppetry my entire life. I'm not going to Sumatra. Get out of here. But Pennsylvania, that's doable.
Stockton, California. Why can it not become Hokkaido, California? Will had a great idea for like a Meiji era theme town.
So like a Meiji Restoration era Japan. I'll just say Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
But imagine like that one specifically. That's a guaranteed moneymaker. Like if you really committed to, we're a town ordinance.
All the
doors are sliding. Paper and wood only. Fuck the fire codes.
Oh, dueling is legal in one part of the town. You can like sword duel someone. Yeah. I would love. Oh man!
But like, how many fucking?
I would go.
Yeah, exactly. And how many other enthusiastic weebos would make a fucking beeline to an American, Japanese town?
If I had a girlfriend, I would take her there.
Absolutely,
and just, break up with her there and be like, "You have to find your own way home."
Yep. I mean, most towns already do that in like miniature, where every city has at least one attempt to do like an Irish pub. But yeah, why not make the entire town out of the Irish pub?
Well, that's the thing. It's like it can't be Irish or Italian because there's too much of that going on in America.
That's
already.
true. We don't want to encourage these people.
Yeah.
We don't want to create some sort of little mecca for all of the most spuriously ethnic Americans to show up and cry about like conflicts they have nothing to do with, or pretend they're in the mafia or something.
Okay.
And yeah, like German, like New Jersey basically is that entire state is like if you're Irish or Italian, they already have you covered.
If this happens, if we get this negative externality, squawking in the media notwithstanding, but if it goes further sideways and they're like, we're done, we're boycotting buying white people from Russia to win our demographic war,
and then we could have like a little French village, and the gimmick there would be that you were allowed to just like throw things at everyone who lived there. Like the locals would wear like berets and they would drive around on like bikes with a baguette in the thing. And the rule is like when you come into town, you get like a big bag of rotten fruit or whatever, and you can just pelt them with it, and you can get out your weird hatred of French people that you.
Yeah, but what is it? What is that? What does that have to offer the townspeople?
They pay for the privilege.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's basically like The guy at Coney Island who like would come out and just get shot with paintballs.
Yeah. The great thing is, because you don't have to limit this to present day version of that country, you can do any period in history. It's nonstop.
That's
like
true.
if you want to go to like the Austro-Hungarian Empire town,
Yes,
you can go. Now in
No opinion. He has a Substack now, and let's just check in on him. He was okay. I'm choosing him because he was the one who was saying on Twitter that like this is World War III, like this is exactly like like this is Hitler 2.0, and then people were like, well, what he was like, I want to contribute any way I can, and then someone was like, you could
join the army.
Join the army, like you
Go
could
do it. Apparently, they are taking volunteers now, and this is perfect because everyone has a chance to put up or shut up if they want.
And then his attitude, his answer was like, I have various health problems, but I could. I could learn to fly a drone. I'm very good with engineering, and like I could be an attaché to an officer.
What? He's just like hanging around. I could chill. I could go. I could vibe. I could stay in the corner so that I was not an active hindrance.
I think anyone could be an attaché to an officer if they really wanted to.
That does really sound like not a very difficult gig.
Yeah, I could follow anyone around if my mind was really set on it.
If I was committed to the cause, I could absolutely just stand 1 step behind someone while they sat in a meeting.
If you need someone to spill 7-Up Zero on a console.
I mean, I definitely do think that he would not be terribly useful on the front lines. Like at a certain point, just having the gun is not that helpful if he doesn't know how to use it.
Well, he's waging the war of ideas, and here on Substack, he writes, "This is a moment of clarity. The Russian invasion of Ukraine should wake us up." Check this out. This essay begins with a quote. You're never going to guess who it's from.
Churchill?
Close. George Orwell.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
All sleeping the deep sleep of England, from which I sometimes fear that we shall never wake till we are jerked out of it by the roar of bombs. George Orwell's Homage to Catalonia. Okay, so it begins, few events create as much moral clarity as the unprovoked brutal invasion of a peaceful nation by a militaristic empire.
I mean, if you don't like them, I mean, what does he think about when Palestinians try to resist a fucking invasion? What is he? Is that a moment of total moral clarity, or is it just more complicated stuff that you can't really pick good guys and bad guys out of?
It says, it's the backdrop of the driving. It's the backdrop or the driving conflict of so many of our stories: Star Wars, Casablanca, Lord of the Rings, The Sound of Music.
Yes,
precisely because it creates heroes and villains so easily and automatically. On one side, the haughty, iron-fisted dictator with his legions of destruction. On the other side, children hiding underground while their parents make a desperate stand to protect their homeland.